Okay, I'm Dave Rubinstein, Chairman of SPTechCon. Once again, I'm talking to Benjamin Niaulin from ShareGate. He just got finished with a session on the content search web part, and I wanted to talk to you about it, ask you a couple of questions. So what is it about this, which is new in 2013, that makes it so powerful that you're dedicating an entire session to it?
Oh, well, actually, I'm a very, very big fan of the content. And it's not just the content search web part. It's one of the main reasons why I find I would go to SharePoint 2013 or upgrade is and only search for me. I think the impact that it has is immense, and content search really allows me to get what we need from anywhere in SharePoint and show it the way that we want, which is very important.
Excellent. Because I know in the earlier version they had the content query web part. So what is the relation between those?
Okay, that's actually a very good question. So the content query web part was essentially something that allows us to go and get the information, but it was limited to the site collection in SharePoint where we were. That means that if we want to get information from anywhere else, unfortunately, we couldn't. We'd have to go and get developer. And also the content query web part was unfortunately a little slow because it does a live query right now when you're visiting, whereas the search is actually very, very high performance, if I can say that, because it has already went through everything and cataloged everything so that when I ask, get me all the sites or get me all the documents, it just has to pull up a file and give it to me, whereas the content query really had to do a query right now. So between you and I don't even touch the content query anymore.
Right. Almost like the difference between caching and having to go back to the database every time.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Gotcha. Okay. So I heard a lot of people came up to you after the session and they're asking you all kinds of questions, which leads me to this question. So you're with ShareGate. So you can't be an expert in everything, but maybe you are. So where are your strengths? What is ShareGate predominantly doing these days?
So yeah, ShareGate is a migration and management tool, but similarly to what I like to do is to not focus on necessarily the really geek stuff, if I can say like that, is just like our tool tries to make it accessible and simple to use for anyone. The same way when I do sessions completely not related to migration or managing, which is not what I want to do, is I really enjoy search. I really enjoy providing solutions to users, but I don't know how to code. Just like many, many people get thrown into SharePoint, and we don't know, we were in IT, we don't know how to do this, we don't know how to code, we don't know Visual Studio. So how can we do something that helps our organization and makes us look good, but without all of these geeky stuff, if I can say it like that? So I go into especially search, some branding stuff, but my specialty, I would say, is making SharePoint accessible to everyone, make it so that they can understand how to use it without having to be a super advanced developer.
So as SharePoint evolves now and 2010 moves to 2013, is a rumored next version coming down the pike. We have Office 365, SharePoint Online. Certainly a lot of complexity there. Yeah. Is it making it easier for the non-coding type person to create these kinds of solutions, or is it creating more roadblocks? Or?
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see because I would say yes and no. What we're seeing that I like, but I think the people that have been in SharePoint for a very long time is probably scary right now because it looks like, what are they doing to my SharePoint now? And am I gonna be able to continue what I'm doing? I would say first not to worry at all. What's happening is SharePoint is known to be large and complex and being a big platform, and some scenarios even a bad reputation for it. So now what they're doing is they're taking pieces and selling just that piece. So OneDrive for Business is actually just my sites with document libraries and syncing. We have Yammer, which really is the SharePoint social, which ties into SharePoint. Office 365 is being available online. And we have all these things that are really pieces of SharePoint, but SharePoint's still there and we're going to need it. So it's not going to be any more difficult, or it's just understanding what's changed. We're having, I think the big buzzword next year is going to be something like machine learning with Delve, and having to do less work, especially as a developer, and more getting the information to get it presented to and get the value out of SharePoint quicker. So I think if anything, for those that are not developers, it's definitely going to get easier, in my opinion. I mean, we'll have to see for sure.
Right. So power users needn't worry; they'll still.
Oh yeah, if anything, they'll be happier in the long run.
Good. Well, I'm happy talking to you. Appreciate your time. It's Benjamin Niaulin from ShareGate. I'm Dave Rubinstein, Chairman of SPTechCon. So long for now.